I'm going to be 60 years old pretty soon. This year, I'm going to be 60. And it just blows my mind. Some days how could I be 60 when in my mind I feel 25? You know? And I'm eating pizza rolls because I can. It's dinner time here at Carry On Candace's house. And yeah, I'm eating pizza rolls. I like them in the air fryer. They're hot though. But I love to put my pizza rolls in the air fryer. Yeah, and I'm 60 years old and almost 60 years old and I still eat pizza rolls. I love pizza rolls. What can I say? Oh, the greatest snack ever. I mean, they're crunchy. They're small. They taste like pizza. Well, what can you ask? Dinner time at my house. The dogs have eaten. And now it's my turn to eat. So today I've been really thinking, you know, I'm going to be 60 in less than a week. Or about a week. And it just blows my mind. I just don't understand. When did I become 60? I mean, 60 years old. I can remember when my mom was 60 and I thought, gosh, she's so old. So today I was thinking, you know, I was sitting at work, besides thinking about eating pizza rolls for dinner at work. But I was thinking, I thought, okay, what are 6 things that I didn't do in 60 years? I mean, I could name 60 things that I haven't done in 60 years, but so I was thinking about my career, all my careers. See, I'm one of those people, I didn't go to school. I didn't go to college. Some days I wished I would have went to college. I went to college, but I never finished. And so I blame a lot of that on my ADHD, especially being undiagnosed ADHD for so long. I'm going to go to college. I always had big ideas and what I wanted to do when I got older. I wanted to join the Navy when I was in school. And everybody was like, because I was kind of prissy. But I wanted to join the Navy. And my mother said, no, you're not joining the Navy. My dad was all for it. Now I look back, probably a good thing I didn't join the Navy. I don't know. But I did. I did want to join the Navy. I really talked, and I had talked to a recruiter and everything. But I was kind of prissy. But when I was younger, I did some modeling. I was into dance. I did some dancing. And so I really thought that I would become just a famous model. But I wasn't tall enough. Then I was about 5'8". And, you know, they didn't look at you unless she's about 5'10". I did some local modeling, but I never did any. Oh, well, I did go to Dallas, and I modeled down there one time. But, again, I wasn't tall enough. So, like I said, I look back now, and probably number one, I should have probably just joined the Navy. Oh, well. And then, like I said, I thought about being a teacher. I thought about I never thought about going into the funeral business like I am now. But, you know, if I had to do over again, and if I look back, I would honestly recommend to young people today, go into funeral work. I mean, there's always going to be a job out there in the funeral business. I mean, it's job security. So you could be a funeral director, you could be a mortician, somebody who embalms people, you could work in forensics. There's just so many avenues of being in the funeral business. But again, I look back now and, you know, being almost 60, and I have no retirement. I was married for 30 years, almost. And then I got a divorce and I was almost 50. And anyways, I've had so many different kinds of jobs. Not that I don't know. I mean, I've worked in so many different things, different fields. Although, I mean, like I said, I don't have a college degree, but I always had really good jobs. I worked in the school. I worked for Department of Human Services. I was a social director, worked in a nursing home, and now I work in a funeral home. But I wish when I was younger, I would have thought more about retirement and think about retirement. I really thought I would still be married and I would just be living on my husband's retirement. You know, we had a business, and when I was in my 20s and 30s, I didn't think about retirement. So if I could tell you something, invest in your future, because you don't want to be 60 years old and still having to work like me. Some people my age are retired. I don't foresee myself ever retiring. I'll probably work until the day I die. And how convenient is it when you work at a funeral home? Maybe I die at work and then just take me back there and get me ready for my funeral. I don't know. So yeah, I wished I would have thought more about retirement when I was younger, because I don't know. Like I said, I didn't think about that I would still be working at this age. And a lot of people work older than me, but I would kind of like to slow down. But I wished I would have traveled more. That's another reason. Number 3, I would say I would like to travel more. I really haven't traveled that much. I mean, I've been on a cruise one time. I would love to go on another cruise, but I haven't really done a lot of traveling. Never went to Mexico one time, but I've never done a lot of traveling. I've been to a few states, but nothing major. So if I could have to do over again, I would have traveled more. And if my mother would have let me join the Navy when I was younger, I would have got to see more of the world. I think again, what else would I have done in the last 60 years? What would I have done different? Well, when I was a young girl, I can remember I saw this dulcimer. I don't know if you know what a dulcimer is. It's an instrument. It's a musical instrument. I always wanted one of those, and I always wanted to learn how to play it. But mom and dad both, they were just like, what are you gonna do with the dulcimer? So now I would have took up like a musical instrument or something like that. I did take piano lessons when I was younger, but again, I have ADHD. I had it when I was a kid, I'm sure, more than likely. I didn't stick to anything for very long. I tried band. I wasn't very good in band. I tried to play a few different instruments. But man, I wished I would have just stuck with some kind of instrument. Like I used to have this friend of mine in church, and she could sing so beautifully, and she could play the piano. Still does. And I used to think, man, I wished I could play the piano like that. So I think I would have liked to have took up a hobby like that, like some kind of musical instrument, like the dulcimer. I don't think there's a big thing, a need for dulcimer players. There might have been. This next one is probably not a really good thing to be talking about while I'm eating pizza rolls out of a paper bowl. But health. I should have been a little bit more mindful about my health. Yes. Now, I will admit, over 5 years ago, I weighed 300 pounds, or maybe close to it, over it. I don't know, but I was 300 pounds. It's not that I was, being a plus size woman, I didn't mind being plus size. I didn't mind being heavier. I mean, I thought it was just beautiful just the way I was, but it was starting to take a toll on my body. Of course, I was working a job where I was a medical courier, and I was in a car for 15 hours a day nearly, and it was starting to wear on me. And so it's not that, like I said, losing weight was not a vanity thing for me. It was mainly, I was a ticking time bomb. And I had 2 adult children that were really worried about me and just wanted me to still be around. maybe have grandkids someday. Don't have any yet, but I might. And so I think I would have been a little bit more mindful of my health. I should have been a little bit more mindful. You know, when you are married and you have children and you're worried about taking care of them and running around and going to football practice and being a cheerleading coach and all that stuff, and then your health kind of takes the back seat. And that's kind of what I did. I was more concerned about running and going. And then too, I wasn't really in a very happy marriage. I mean, and that I think probably was a lot of it, that I was under a lot of stress as far as not in a very good place. Happy. Wasn't happy. So tend to just kind of let your health go. Let it go. Do I have any regrets about the last 60 years? Not really. I mean, yeah, I look back and I think, well, I wished I'd have done that. I wished I'd have done that. And I wished I didn't have so many dogs in my house. I'm kind of a dog hoarder right now. I mean, I have 4. But I really don't have any regrets. I mean, I wished I would have been a little bit more outgoing, you know? But I think it just all boils down to how I feel now at 60 years old. My health is better. But would I change things that are not what I thought they would be? Yeah, I thought things would be different. I mean, 10 years ago, when I got a divorce, I really didn't think I would ever be divorced. You know, I was married for almost 30 years to the I thought was the love of my life, and I tell people I divorced the love of my life. But I would say, you know, here's to 60 more, but the chances of living 60 more years, I don't think it's going to be. But I wouldn't change a lot of things in my life. I would say that I had a good family. I had a good mom and dad. I was raised really well. We might not have had a lot, but my kids were my biggest accomplishment. I mean, most people are proud of their kids, but I'm really proud of my kids. And being their mother has just been the best job that I could ever ask for. I think another thing, if I could tell myself, especially now, I'm kind of going through this decluttering thing in my life. And I'm finding I'm hanging on to things that I really can't. Why am I hanging on to them? So if I could tell my younger self, just don't save everything. It's not worth it. You do not need to take everything into the future with you. The best thing you can hang on to is the memories that you have. So I'm learning to let go. I have a lot of things that were my mother's. My mother lived to 93 years old, and she passed away about 3 years ago. And I look at things that I have of hers, and I think, it's material. I have the memories that I have of her, but I really don't need her dining room table. I really don't need her dresser. I really don't. I have the memories. So another thing, hang on to less stuff. Don't take it into the future with you. You don't need it. Now we live in an age where everything is digital and you have pictures and it's on your phone, and don't take all the stuff with you. You don't need to take it all with you into the future. That's what I'm trying to say. And here's to 60 years. I know one day my daughter asked me, she said, "Mama, does it scare you to get old?" Well, my daughter's an adult. She said, "Mama, does it scare you to get old?" I always said, me getting older never bothered me. It was watching my parents get older. Of course, my father, he passed away in his 70s. but my mother lived into her 90s. And watching my mom simply just fade away because of dementia. But no, me getting older has never really bothered me. I just kind of embrace it. I embrace the wrinkles under my eyes, and I embrace the forgetfulness. And a lot of my people that I went to school with and that I grew up with didn't have the opportunity to live to 60. And that makes me kind of sad. Because I think, what would they have been like? Because I lost a friend when he was in like 21. And I look back now and I think, I wonder what he'd have been like now. So, if I can give you one bit of advice, don't dread growing older. Because a lot of people don't get the opportunity to grow older. Just embrace each day and carry on. This is Carry On Candace. And happy birthday to me. And to those of you who are turning 60 this year. Embrace it. I am. See you soon.